Hey, I was thinking of not making this video because I've been watching a lot of videos other people have been making about this trailer, and I thought, well, that pretty much covers it all. But the more I watch it and the more I talk to people, I think there's a lot of stuff that people aren't picking up, and some of the stuff I'm going to go over I think is a bit obvious and you would have heard it before, but there's some things that I never see anyone talk about, so, I mean, let's get into it. This is, I mean, to me, probably stand medium punch, and I'm guessing this is his plus button, maybe. Maybe. I mean, maybe he won't have a plus button at all, kind of like Ken, but if I had to guess, I think this will be his plus button, the standing medium punch. I mean, it was his most plus button in Street Fighter 5, so. And this is interesting, this move here. We'll talk about it a bit more when we see it again. But if this hits low, this move will be really good. If it's just like not a low hit, I'm sure it's still good. But yeah, stand heavy punch, very much like Ken's and Ryu's, more like Ryu's, I'd say. Again, we'll talk about this move a bit more when we see it again. But looks very good and cancels. So medium flicker. Another thing about these flickers that I'm not sure about yet is what happens when you press them when you're crouching. Do you get these same standing flickers, or is it something else, or do you get your normals? Like, do you have some crouching normals with kicks? I haven't been able to work it out from the trailer, so. But there is one thing we'll see in a bit that might give it away. Target combo, probably. I mean, you can tell by the animation that it's probably a target combo. Same here. Now this is kind of interesting and something that people haven't talked about yet. This target combo. Let's get back to it. Like I said, you can tell it's a target combo because when it goes from hit to hit, his animation doesn't cancel into something else. It's all very fluid. But this target combo, it looks like it's 3 hits and then in an overhead. And you think obviously, uh, what use is that? You can probably, be pretty ready for this overhead here. And I was thinking, if he still has his level 2, which is the Psycho Cannon, and it's the slow ball, if he still has ways to make it slow, so you can use it in neutral, and when you're using it on block, this target combo, this overhead here, could actually be very good if there are alternate ways to kind of, make them guess. Like maybe you can do the low hit again here, and then keep it safe with the ball or open them up with the ball. So could be cool, or it could just be. It might not even be an overhead. Definitely looks like one though. This is a target combo going from stand medium into what looks like crouching heavy. One thing you'll notice is we don't really see any crouching normals, even with punches from Ed in this trailer. So interested to see what he does when crouching. Launches, sure it leads to something. Standard, big heavy punch. Hopefully it's like, Ken and Luke's. I mean, it was in Street Fighter 5 and then sweep, which is probably a punch sweep. This is an anti-air. He does a high flicker. I mean, it looks good, but at the same time, I feel like it might not be good. It might be one of those normals that's just. But one thing to notice here is he gets a punish counter with this, and it does not lead into any kind of crumple that you can combo from. It air resets. And this move here, this is very clearly, I think, a command normal. And I think that this is supposed to be the replacement for Street Fighter V's standing heavy kick, which was like a big hop kick, which let you jump over like, you know, jury fireballs and such. And I mean, it's probably not as safe as that move was on block, but I think this move looks better than that move in general, just because you get a lot more air. So I think it'll be able to go over a lot bigger lows than that standing heavy kick did. So looking forward to using this button. This button alone will make fighting jury a lot easier than other characters have it. A lot of other characters. The taunt. Okay, here's something I don't see people talk too much about. I was talking about this on the Discord. As I said, we haven't really seen Ed's crouching normals. Now, here's the question with this. He does it looks like crouching light kick into 2 standing light punches. Even though it's a punch, obviously, it's kind of like a Balrog thing, you know. But see this move here. The question I have with this move is this a crouching light kick or is this a crouching light punch? Because any other, you know, character, you'd say, oh, it's a crouching light kick because it's definitely hitting low. I mean, look at that animation. And then into 2 highs. But I feel like because his kick moves are all flickers, that this might be a crouching light punch that hits low. And that's the reason why he does 2 standing light punches to finish the combo instead of 2 crouching light punches, if that makes sense. So I think that's crouching light punch, standing light punch, and then I think that's just like his, and I don't think that's a target combo. I think that's more like his chain jab animation. I think they just made it look nice. Into, I can't remember what they call this move now, like Psycho Barrage, but it's basically the new Psycho Flicker because all his kicks are flicker buttons now. But yeah, standing here, not close enough for a throw, I'd say, but you're definitely not close enough for a throw, but you're definitely plus. So cool, I guess. Now here we go, Psycho Spark, as people remember from Street Fighter V. I will say, this version of Psycho Spark looks way better than the Street Fighter V. Maybe I can't tell which one's faster or not. This one looks faster than 5, but it might not be because it was pretty fast in 5. But the problem with Spark in 5 is it had this massive hurt box. It was so big. Like, you could put out just the Spark and Vega could like sweep you from half screen on reaction and punish it. And it was a move that made you think you could deal with a lot of characters that you actually couldn't because of how bad the hurt box was. But in this game, it looks really fast, and the hurt box, like, it looks it reminds me of Lucia's Fireball startup in 5, which had a lot smaller hurt box than Ed's. So if that's the case, that's really good. And this here, I was worried that Ed's his uppers are his anti-airs, specifically it looks like the light punch one, not this one. And I was worried that maybe because the way they used him in the trailer, he does it pretty early and it's like a juggle combo. So I thought, oh, maybe it's not that good as an anti-air because it might lose if you don't do it early. But this part here, I realize that might not be the case because there's a very specific thing happening here. And it makes me think that all his uppers have very early air invincibility. Because this move here, it looks like it hits Ed. And his upper still wins. But the thing is that I think the reason that it wins is because when Aki does this anti-fireball move, she's technically airborne. So I think that's the reason this just clean wins here, is his uppers are airborne, even the ones that don't really look like anti-airs.
Well, I mean, that kind of looks like an anti-air, but um, I mean, I guess you do this upper if they jump from further away, right? Because he kind of steps into it, which will be cool if this is actually a pretty good anti-air. See here? Boom. And the thing about this, look at that. You can tell this is meant to be kind of like a rising replacement because, you know, rising in 5, you got a bit of a follow up and more damage than a lot of other anti-airs. And because rising's gone, I think they've baked it into his upper anti-airs that he gets a bit of a follow up. But what's very interesting about this is the potential for the damage you can do because you upper here, and let's just say this is a pretty guaranteed combo where you know you get your first upper, you always get the second one, which I'm not sold on. I feel like you might have to do it pretty early to get the second one. But look at this. If you can level 3 off of this upper here, no one's going to want to jump against this character. I mean, they will because, you know, it's Street Fighter. But if you can level 3 here, then they're going to eat 50% just for jumping whenever you have level 3. So, I mean, who knows? It kind of looks like you probably can. You know what I mean? But we'll see. It might not be possible. Okay. This could be crazy, this part here. Again, we see the low flicker. And you'll see that he special cancels it, right? Look at this range first of all. That if this is an actual low, this is very crazy range. And then you can see because his animation switches so quickly that it's a cancel. Which, you know, that's cool. But the question is, if he can special cancel this, does that mean that he can drive rush cancel it? Because drive rush canceling a low like this is just crazy. Like, you know, I was thinking maybe he probably doesn't have a crouch medium kick into drive rush cancel, but if he can drive rush cancel this and it's a low, I mean, there's no way that won't be good. I'm a bit confused about these, because his flickers are just you press the kicks, like, you know, light kick is the low one, medium kick's a mid one, and the heavy kick's probably the anti-air looking ones. And then you hold it down to get snatcher. Well, you do a motion and kick to you like a quarter circle and kick to hold it down and get snatcher. So I'm guessing these are just half charged versions of that when you're holding down for snatcher. I mean, I think that makes the most sense. Snatcher, I mean, I don't have too much to say about Snatcher yet. I assume what happens on block is that it's like Street Fighter 5 where it just pulls them in, but I don't know if it's going to be plus or not, like Street Fighter 5. Boom, he's got the Wave Dash Electrics. One that, I mean, we can talk about this a little bit. Alright, you'll see here, this first one, he has like a weaker version that it hits them, but it doesn't send them into a tailspin that you can combo off of. It's just kind of like a hit, like this. I'm wondering if what this is on block, if it's safe. Because I feel like it won't be, but maybe that's the reason he has a weaker version at the same time. I'm not sure. I feel like maybe it just exists for combo filler to hit where the other one won't. Because I do kind of find it hard to believe they'd make this safe on block. But we'll see. So that's the normal one. Another thing about this move, is it going to be projectile invulnerable? I don't think he needs it considering the other anti-projectiles he has, but Yeah, I mean, and is there an EX version of this move? That's another question. Maybe there is, and that's the only projectile involved. But if there is an EX, I also wonder what that does too. And I don't even know what the input for this move is really. But I have a lot of questions about it. Looks great though, like really, really strong. See, this is the tailspin upper that you can combo off of. Here we go, forward sway into back sway. And I have another question about his back sway. What happens if you try to do one of those uppercuts during it? Can you? When like does he re-step forward kind of like DJ to do it, or can you just not do it off a back sway? And if you do EX, what does that mean? Like, does it do anything? Oh, great DI animation. Kind of what I imagined in my head, to be honest. Flicker combo into level 1. This level 1, I'm hoping that, I mean, we can kind of have a look here. I'm hoping that this move is invincible, and I'm hoping that it is fast startup as well, because I mean, we'll see in a bit his EX upper, which is a reversal, and it's the same kind of invincibility as 5, where it's very slow startup but very invincible. And the problem with that is people, you know, they can do setups to avoid getting hit by it. They can like jab and block still if you reversal. And the main problem I have with that in this game is there might be a lot of like drive rush Oki people can do to you that wouldn't work on anyone else, but it'll work on Ed specifically because his reversal's too slow to hit it on reaction, you know, when they drive rush. So I'm hoping that this is a bit faster so that that isn't as much of a problem. And invincible, obviously. It might not even be invincible. It kind of looks like it will be, but, you know. The bison laugh. Alright, this is interesting. This is something I haven't really seen anyone talk about. You'll notice here, let's get to it. He's charging Snatcher here, and it's fully charged as well, which means you can hold it, unlike Street Fighter 5, where you held it and it eventually just went off when it was fully charged. It seems like you can hold Snatcher in this game past being fully charged. But, alright, remember, Snatcher here, charging Snatcher. And then he backsway cancels the charge, which is potentially insane because I mean, if anyone played Street Fighter 5, can you imagine if Ed could backdash cancel his what do you call it? His snatcher charge? It would have been a 10,000 times better move because I mean, I don't know how it is in this game, but if it's still plus on block and pulls them in, and if it still beats armor, and now you can backsway cancel it, that is just crazy. And here's another thing to think about this, right? So you can backsway cancel this move. What happens if we already know that you can cancel normals into snatcher charge, right? We'll see it in a bit. But what happens if you, let's say you do standing heavy punch into snatcher charging, and then you immediately like backsway or forward sway cancel it? Will you be able to, you know, like dash cancel your normals basically? In my opinion, in my guessing, I think it'll be very slow. I definitely don't think you'll be able to kind of like forward dash cancel them well. Like you might be able to do it, but it'll probably be so slow that they'll just punish you, or it'll be like kind of pointless. But being able to do like, you know, standing heavy into snatcher into backsway cancel to like build a kind of distance that you might prefer against certain characters, I think it's really cool, and I hope that it's not very slow. But I'm feeling like it probably will be. We'll see. We'll have to wait to find out on that one. See, look at that. Backdash or back sway cancelling the snatcher charge. And then Psycho Knuckle charge. Pretty much the same move from 5, except for it beats projectiles now. You know, that's fine, I guess. Up flicker. Target combo. The target combo is special cancelable, which means it's definitely drive rush cancelable as well. It probably won't ever be worth the 3 bars unless you're keeping yourself safe, because usually combos like that don't go too well for 3 bars. But being able to cancel into this is great, because you can spend 3 bars. You spend 2 bars on this, and then you can do a kind of air juggle, we'll see later, and spend 1 more bar, which is 3 bars. Which is the same as a drive rush cancel, and I think his combo structure is going to be really cool. And he's probably going to do a lot of damage. Interesting thing about it's not too interesting, but you'll notice they kind of give away how good his back throw is in this animation. You see the animation ends about there. Let's see. I'd say it ends about here. And they both press. So it seems like his back throw is pretty close to 0 on which, you know, some people get kind of backdash oki in this game, or back throw oki, but yeah, Ed seems to be 0. That's the distance there. So I don't think you'll be drive rushing off of that back throw. And here we go. As you can see, they both DP at the same time. But Ed's wins clean because it's slower, it has way more invincibility. That's what they're showing off here. See, look. Ken's already active here. Ed, still not active. And there you go. Very slow reversal, which has its upsides and downsides. You'll still be able to do it on other people's wake up and stuff like that, it seems, which is funny. I wonder if it'll go into any supers like level 2 or level 3. Now this, I mean, everyone, you've seen this. This is interesting because if you notice from his, when he did stand heavy punch earlier in the video, the animation is a bit different, and that's because it's very much the same as Street Fighter V, where you can hold the heavy punch and then let it go. You'll see he's holding it when he puts his left arm up. Where is it? This is the animation for charging the heavy punch. You'll see it as well if you look back at the knuckle, but you won't see it if you look at the first time we saw this move in the trailer. And then he's like, oh cool, I seen this normal whiffed, let go. And this hits a crouching medium kick, which it seems pretty crazy, and it is. But I think the reason they've made at least this normal like this is because Ed probably doesn't have too many buttons that are good at hitting buttons like this due to not having his own kicks, you know what I mean? So they've probably been a bit more generous with the hitbox of this move than they have been with other moves that are similar, which it seems kind of dumb, I'm not going to lie. I mean, I'm not complaining, I'll take it for sure, but it seems like a pretty much like whiff punish all button based on this clip. And into EX Snatcher, which you'll notice it was a different knockdown than the other EX Snatcher we've seen, so maybe EX has different strengths. Spark. Very reminiscent of Street Fighter V combo. Drive Rush. So this combo so far has cost 3 bars, the same as a Drive Rush cancel. So he might not even be a character that really Drive Rush cancels that much. He might go into EX Snatcher, because for the same meter you get pretty similar combos, it seems. Stand heavy punch again, cancelled into a dash, into the heavy version, and yeah, very cool combo. This is cool. I mean, everyone's talked about this. EX Spark beats the EX Fireball alone. But one thing they haven't said is, look how slow this Fireball is. Like, look how slow this Fireball is. You can probably, you know, at full screen or even a bit closer to half screen, you probably don't even need Drive Rush to follow this Fireball. You can probably follow it just with your command dash. Cool follow-up. Took him 2 fireballs to get hit here, though. He could have blocked if he just didn't do the second fireball. Shimmied. Here's something interesting that I also haven't seen people talk about. So he shimmies here, right? He gets the counter hit stand medium punch into the stand heavy punch. Cool combo. And then look at this. EX Snatcher. What this means, which is very good news, let's get back to it. What this means is stand heavy punch into EX Snatcher is a natural combo. It doesn't require counter hit or punish counter to do this combo. This completely natural combo, which is great. I mean, you think of the troubles Ed had in Street Fighter V with, you know, with punishment and stuff, and now he has this. It's really a completely different character. This is a cross-up, pretty crazy cross-up. It looks pretty ambiguous. This move is cool. I'm interested to see how much damage and what kind of utility you get with this move, because I really like the animation. And it might just be to cancel into level 2 though, really, when you need it. We'll see. Level 2 is the Psycho Cannon. You can see this one's pretty fast. I'm wondering if it'll have strengths in this game. In 5, you held back and you got a slower version. We won't know until we see more, obviously, but I'm thinking maybe the speed might be dependent on what button you press for the super, because it's a button press now instead of a V trigger press. So that might mean it could even have 3 different speeds, which would just be crazy, especially if you can get some mix-ups going with this thing. That could be crazy. Or it could just be 2 speeds, like 5, or it could just be this. This could be the only speed. So, and if this is the only speed, then it's pretty fast. I don't think you're really getting much mix-ups off it. We'll see, though. Snatcher. This is cool. Alright. The interesting thing about this, he does one of the half-charged flickers, like the Snatcher cancel into, it's like a punish counter. I think what they're trying to say here is, you know, when you're charging up your Snatcher, which you can now backdash cancel, if you see a move whiff, right, like, oh, Ken just whiffed standing heavy kick in my face, you just let it go. You just let the charge go when it's not fully charged, right? And you get a punish counter crumple. And then, you know, drive rush into whatever combo. That's pretty nuts. Like, they want you to be looking out for this when you're charging Snatcher. There's like, you have so much like freedom from Snatcher charging now. Before it was just this long animation and you were locked in and people could easily react to it and just jump punish you and you couldn't do anything about it. And now it's like, oh, you can backdash cancel it, you can let it go early into like a punish counter, like crumple, and it's pretty nuts. And level 3, I mean, you know, looks cool. Startup looks pretty fast. Nothing else to really say about it. But yeah, that's it really. If you guys have noticed anything that I haven't said, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear anything new that I've missed. I'm sure I'll be watching this plenty more times. And yeah. That's about it.